So next topic is gonna be Zion Williamson.
Yo, you
Zion,
called it. You called it.
yeah. I said we probably wouldn't. I didn't. I'm lying. I didn't say we wouldn't see Zion this season, but we wouldn't see him at the beginning. We wouldn't see him in January or February. And the reports are he's had not another setback, but things are going rough for Zion in his recovery process. I have the statement from him himself. It says, as you can imagine, this has been a difficult process for me. I know there's work to be done in my recovery before I can safely return to the court, but I will continue to put in the time necessary so I can get back on the floor with my team and represent Pelican fans in the city of New Orleans at the highest level. Basketball means everything to me, and I am thankful for the Pelicans organization and everyone who has surrounded me with love and support throughout this journey. My family, friends, teammates, coaches, staff, fans, and everybody who has stood behind me and uplifted me when I needed it the most. So if you're not aware with the situation, Zion Williams is dealing with a Jones fracture, the same fracture that Mitchell Robinson had in his foot and missed extended time last season. Zion at least is having trouble recovering from the fracture. And this is one of the issues with this type of fracture, because where it is in the body, it's in your foot, and there's not a high level of blood. There's not a lot of blood supply to that area. So it makes it difficult to heal at times. And we're seeing that with Zion, a player who has added some weight in the absence since he's been off the court. And that's not a good recipe, especially for an injury like this. So Foxy, let me know your thoughts on Zion's recovery process so far.
I think you nailed it, and we predicted it. We're students of history. Have you ever seen a 300-pound guy that's a high flyer in basketball have a career, no less a long career? Their bodies can't handle it. The wear and tear, especially their feet, their ankles, their knees and hips, just can't take it, man. It's a math problem. It's physics, the muscles, the tendons and everything. And the energy to jump the way he does and the way he comes down, it's a violent act. And at his, the last time I saw him, I'm serious, man. He looked like Mabel from the WWE, man. He was huge. I mean, where is the weight? Where is somebody saying, yo, if you're going to heal from this, you can't be, eating 14 steaks or something. I don't know what the hell you're eating, but he was huge. And it's so weird that in 2019 everybody was saying this was a 3-man draft, and they were right. It turned out to be Ja, RJ, and Darius Garland, because Zion's missed more games than he's played, and it's a shame. But I don't see his situation ever getting better. I think it's a DNA thing. I don't think he could ever be under 280, that guy.
Yeah, well, hopefully Zion's able to make a full recovery.
Yeah, I wish the best for the
wanted
kid.
us to trade for him. Yeah, I was like,
No, I have a better idea. Let's trade. If he can't play, let's trade Randall to New Orleans, and we'll get Ingram.
That's another move we can try to make.
I go that if they need a power forward because Zion can't play. Yeah, you could have Julius. We'll just take Ingram, and then you could slide that kid Trey Murphy that you got last year into that spot, and everybody will be happy.
One hand wash the other.
Yo.
All right, so we got another news story. Brickbrook. Apparently, the Lakers tried to move on from him. This is coming from Sam Amick. It says, all of which explains why sources say the Lakers showed some covert interest in discussing a possible Westbrook trade with rival executives earlier this season. A deal appears extremely unlikely before the February 10th trade deadline, if only because his deal that was once seen by so many as untradeable is such a massive obstacle. But inside the Lakers, it seems, there is some recognition that this hasn't gone as they had planned. So, man, everything's not going great in Tinseltown. Brickbrook is another one of those players where he gets you a bunch of stats, but it doesn't necessarily lead to winning. And that's what I was trying to say when in the offseason, a lot of, the fan base wanted us to go and try to bring in a player like Brickbrook. Like, yeah, he puts up numbers, but those numbers aren't necessarily leading to wins. They're leading to him looking good.
Well, Westbrook, he's averaging 19 points and 8 rebounds, 8 assists. And I'm like, there's one other thing you've read. What's that? He's averaging a touch under 5 turnovers a game. So he's absolutely his style of play, and those turnovers are hurting the Lakers bad. And, I watched a lot of the games so far this year, and his alpha dog mentality is definitely not meshing with LeBron. I saw a game where he looked off LeBron, and LeBron had a look on his face like, do you know who I am? I'm LeBron. Right? I look you off. You don't look me off. Mm-hmm. And
I give you the ball, you give it right back. That's it.
Yeah, and and I touched on this with Randall a couple of weeks ago. There's certain players in their head that they see themselves, no matter whom they're playing with, they see themselves as the top dog. And LeBron, come on, folks, top 2 greatest players of all time. You have to have ego to say, no, that's the man, and I want the ring. I want a chip. I've been in this league a long time. I've had triple doubles. I've had incredible stats. The one thing I need is a ring. And you know what? You saw with James Harden, I got to change my game, or I got to do certain things. I want the ring bad. But no, he does these stupid plays, and you're like, what was he thinking? And like I said, LeBron don't pull in, and you just, you see his look on the thing like, what the hell is this guy thinking? So, but who would take him and, his style of play in that contract on? So I think they're burdened, man. I don't know who the hell would want to take, almost $50 million contract for this guy.
I was shocked they made the trade for him in the first place.
Me too. The writing was on the wall. He is who he is. And wherever he goes, it's the same thing all the time. Like you said, great stats, the team's not winning. I wonder why. And like you said, let him shoot that 3-point there. I'll put statistically that he ain't going to make it, or if he beats us, fine. But most of the time, he's not going to make that shot.
Yep.
So,
that's exactly what you want when you're playing defense. And then we got our final news story of the day. Of the show. It's going to be Ben Simmons potentially on a move to Sacramento for De'Aaron Fox. And I think this is pretty interesting too, because this is something the Knicks might be able to get on. Let me read the article. It says Sacramento is now reportedly open to making De'Aaron Fox and or Tyrese Halliburton available in the right deals. And those aren't equal propositions for Philadelphia. In all likelihood, sources say a deal involving Fox would almost certainly have to be a 3-team deal, moving Fox to another party in order to get what the Sixers think they need. And while the Sixers like Halliburton and feel good about his potential fit, the sense is he's not at the level they're after for a primary piece in return for Simmons, that the Iowa State product would need to be one part and a more extravagant return. So if it takes a 3-team deal, maybe the Knicks could get in on a deal and try to acquire Fox. How do you feel about that, Fox?
Fox to Fox, I like that. Yo, I think if we can get rid of Julius and get a player like that, I'm down for it. But like you said, Morey and they're looking for a star. So that's the issue. There were some rumors that Atlanta was interested, but they're not looking to give up a Trey. They want Ben to play with a Trey. So they're saying that they'd give up DeAndre Hunter and Bogdanovich and Capella and Herter and Reddish, 2 first-round picks. But like you just said, the magic word, they can't do it. It has to be a 3-team trade. So that's the interesting thing, that who could, what's going to go around those type of trades. So I could see, Sacramento. I don't know, Simmons and Halliburton. I don't know if that would gel, but I think they just want to get rid of him. And Sacramento, you never know what the hell they're doing. They got 3 point guards. When I was going through the draft stuff, and I'm like saying where were players going, I'm like, there's no freaking way they're going to take another guard this year, but maybe not. But so it's interesting. But like you said, he's a mental case. And I don't mean it in a derogatory manner. He just has issues, and elite player, but you won't shoot in the fourth quarter. Can't shoot foul shots. And you don't, he's had knee injuries, back injuries, foot injuries. What are you going to get? Which Ben are you going to get? Mm-hmm. So
it'll be interesting to see how this scenario plays itself out, because I thought at some point we'd have a resolution by now. The fact that Ben still isn't playing games, still getting fined, and we're still having to deal with this drama. At least the Kyrie Irving situation kind of remedied itself. He's playing part-time. Ben, we still have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but I think Sacramento, whether it's this trade, I think they were really open to getting rid of Fox. He signed that max deal, and the way Halliburton's playing, and they have Davion Mitchell there. I think they're totally open.
Yeah, so we'll see how the cookie crumbles. Maybe Fox ends up in New York. You never know.